You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Hey everybody, it's the Code Rad Show again. Hello, Jim.
Hello, Jason. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Looking forward to this Doctor Who journey continuing. Let me see. First, let me get this out of the way. Here's Interplanet Volume 1. That is available on Fund My Comic. I'm going to be changing some stuff about that. So you better get over there quickly and get it while it's still expensive, because I think I'm going to lower the price soon to try to get some more interest in it, as Volume 2 is being worked on now. The script is pretty much done. My artist, Tony Tyler, has begun the layouts for the issue. Very exciting, and I want to get some interest in it, in the whole series before Volume 2 comes out. And also Tales of Conspiracy and Madness on Amazon. 9 Tales of Cosmic Horror. So let me see. Let me try. Can I switch directly to this? How do I do that? No, maybe remove. There we go. All right. So I figure we do something a little different. We start this episode. This ends our journey, one episode from each of the 7 Doctors. And maybe we'd give our rating. What do you think would be a good way to rate them? 1 to 10?
Yeah, we could do that. I
10
guess
TARDISes for the best?
yeah, I think that'd be
10
good.
Jelly
Yeah.
Babies? Maybe Jelly Babies.
All right, Jelly Baby, we can do that. All right.
All right. So
Jelly Baby works better.
Planet
Yeah.
of the Giants was a pleasant, fun little adventure.
It was. I really did enjoy it. I love the '60s episodes. I think they're really great. I prefer Troughton over Hartnell, but I thought it was kind of cool. It's nothing, nothing really new in science fiction to have the main character get shrunk.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
we've seen it before. But I thought it was pretty well done. I enjoyed it. So I would give that 7 TARDISes.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Very fair. I think Planet of the Giants captured the essence of 1960s Doctor Who pretty well. I mean, as popular as the Daleks were, to me they seem kind of like the outlier. 1960s Doctor Who was kind of about learning, that sort of thing. The old man and his teacher, his
Yeah.
teacher companion going out traveling through history. This episode was no different. This wasn't about history, but it was about the environment and giant ants. For what it was good. So yeah, I think 7. 7 Jelly Babies. That's a good one. A cool ant there. And then we have the giant crab called the Macra.
Yes. It's a
So the
race
Macra
of
Terror.
creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the giant crabs. That I really enjoyed. It was creepy, it was scary. Maybe not scary, but just, the guy saying there are no such thing as a Makra. They don't exist. They don't exist. The guy
Yeah.
going crazy. Starts out everything seems happy enough, but almost seems like a forced manufactured happiness. We find out why, because the people are being manipulated by these giant crabs that feed off a certain gas.
Right. So yeah, in some ways, kind of similar to tonight's subject.
Yes, indeed, yes. So I would give the Makra, I'd give that 8 TARDISes.
I think I will agree with you again. Macra Terror, giant monster episode, and a giant monster that just doesn't just eat you, but controls your minds. That's a little different. Excuse me. Sorry. So and plus another dystopian future episode, which I don't know if there's been a lot of analysis of that. The Doctor Who's dystopian society episodes. How many times has he done that? So I mean, I believe we have 2 on our slate for tonight. The Macra Terror being our Patrick Troughton episode, and we also have a Sylvester McCoy episode. And so then we have the colon of Axos.
Yeah. Yes.
And yeah, I would say Claws of Axos pretty much encapsulated everything about 1970s Doctor Who, or was that also that would be wild if it was still 1960s? But I think it was it came out in the 70s, right?
It did 1971 or two, I think. I want to say,
Wow.
I'm not sure.
I mean, it's just so different from the William Hartnell era.
Oh yeah, much different.
And from when you get to be as old as me, I mean, that difference in time, 8 years or whatever it was, from Unearthly Child to Claws of Axos, it's a blink of the eye. The show changed so much in that time.
It really did. First I guess for it finally went to color. Doctor was now more grounded. Exiled to Earth.
Yep. Stuck on Earth by the Time Lords.
Let's see. Definitely an era for ushering in new enemies like the Axos or the Axonites, like the Master, like the Sea Devils, like the Centaurans. Eventually, the Third Doctor would eventually meet them for the first time. Yeah, my only gripe is that I know it's great that they wanted to introduce all these new characters, these new menaces, but I would have liked to seen at least one Cyberman story with Pertwee, just one. But as far as I know, it never happened.
All right. So yeah, Pertwee never faced the Cybermen. He did face the Daleks, though, right? Planet of the Daleks. That's
Oh yes,
Pertwee.
many times. Yeah,
Yeah.
four. I think
Okay.
4 times. And
But
Pertwee
yeah,
actually hated the Daleks. He hated them. He thought they were stupid.
really?
They look really dumb, and yeah, he thought they
Huh.
were the stupidest. But the fans love them, and we love them. So to do 4 stories with them, which he did.
Wow.
Let's see, it was Day of the Daleks.
Oh, right. Yeah. Day of the Daleks.
I think Colony in Space, Planet of the Daleks, and then Death of the Daleks.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I need to revisit some old Doctor Who. I don't even remember some of those episodes. But yeah, I mean, this has gross monsters running around the English countryside, the Master, some really wonky spaceship effects. I think I'd give this one 8.5.
Okay. I didn't really like it as much. I just thought Pertwee's got a lot of great stories, and he's my favorite Doctor, but I just didn't really think this was really one of them. So I'm probably just going to give it. I'll give it 6.5 TARDISes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, sorry.
Nah. I mean,
Sorry, everybody.
I think, yeah, exploding unit soldiers. That's worth at least 5 Jelly Babies all by itself. All right, and so for our Tom Baker episode, I don't know how Seeds of Doom escaped my notice all these decades. I'm pretty sure this is the first time I ever saw it, and this would be a candidate for ultimate Doctor Who episode of all time. Even
I
though
agree.
it was odd for a Doctor Who. It had some things that were unusual for a Doctor Who episode, but yeah, I think this, if any episode would get a 10, I think it would be Seeds of Doom.
I gotta agree. I give it 10 too. It's a classic. Tom Baker's amazing. It's a great story. I was like just always just I figured, oh, I'll watch just 3 episodes. I'll watch half of it, tonight, and then but I watched all 6 actually in one sitting. It was that good. It was really, really good.
Yeah, never dragged. Lots of interesting elements that were unusual for Doctor Who. Had an epic feeling by taking place in Antarctica and England.
Yep.
That's unusual for Doctor Who. So then you have Castrovalva, slow burn.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough
Weird,
one.
also weird. Not on the level of Seeds of Doom, but a pleasant kind of low stakes introduction to the Fifth Doctor.
Yeah, I guess I love Peter Davison. He's definitely one of my most favorite Doctors. Actually, I'm not sure if I told you guys this, but actually I actually was the Fifth Doctor for a year for Halloween, and I still have the coat and the stripy trousers and had to have the celery stick on pinned on, wouldn't stay on, it kept on falling off. But that's another story. But but I always loved his Alpha, and I loved, and I love his doctor. People would say, "Oh, he's weak, he's vulnerable," but I'd say no. I don't think that really disqualifies him as a bad character. I think just vulnerability for me means it means being relatable, and I think he was definitely at his most human. Here. Not his best story, but I think not a bad start. So I'd probably give this maybe 7.5 TARDISes.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'd go with 8.
8, okay.
Yeah.
It was very good. It was very good.
Yeah, maybe 7. Very good episode. All right, and so then we have the Ronnie looking ravishing there, very, very 80s. Kind of reminds me of like Tegan's later outfits.
Yeah, that's a cool outfit.
Yeah, that I would say this is probably the weakest episode out of these 6 for me. Had some good moments. I mean, just about, it's very rare for Doctor Who to not have some good moments. But yeah, I'd probably give this, just like Colin Baker was Doctor number 6. I think this episode would get about 6 for me.
I actually kind of liked it. Colin Baker for me was very hit or miss. And not at the fault of him, because he's a great actor. I never met him, but I've seen a lot of fan interactions on YouTube, and he seems to be a really amazing, an amazing guy. Very personable. But yeah, just the story. Again, he's very hit or miss for me personally.
Yeah.
But I'd have to give this one. I guess I'll give it a 7 out of 7 TARDISes. Not. I think it's one of his better episodes, even though there's not many 6 Doctor stories. But I thought this was definitely one of his better ones.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, the idea of another Time Lord who doesn't even seem to really be evil, just kind of wacky, is a good idea. But yeah, like the production value of the episode and the storyline just didn't work that well for me. So
I think their budget was cut at this time.
Yeah.
So it shows.
Yeah. They were trying new things, 45-minute episodes, and but things got really I don't know. Things got really rough. The road got rough by the time Sylvester McCoy came along. I know. Let's see. And we got characters like this.
The Candyman. Yes, indeed.
The Candyman, who is weird and pretty much impossible to take seriously, like much of this episode. But Candyman was the most interesting thing about this episode. He was a bit sinister and fun to look at and creative. So I know you have some things to say about this.
I do. So I think he had potential. He is kind of creepy with the high voice.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame they couldn't conceal the mouth. I can see the mouth moving when he's speaking. But I like the revolving nuclear.
Yeah.
But see, I didn't know this. So this character was based off of a well, let's see here. So in Britain, there was a very popular chocolate company called Bassett's.
Oh.
Been around for a very, very long time. You can see, see the those little candies there with the I'm not sure what kind that's called. Sorry.
Yeah, it looks like it has a chocolate center.
Yeah, I'm not very big on candy these days, but the pink wheel with the chocolate center, I guess. Well, so Bassett's had a mascot called Birdie Bassett. And whatever that chocolate was, it's his head, apparently, in this version. But eventually they kind of made him a little more of a cartoon character, like here. More kid-friendly, more marketable, I guess, more toyetic, I guess.
Yeah.
They used him heavily on their actual products. So Bassett's unfortunately, they complained to the BBC about the story. They're saying that they basically he looks too similar to our Candyman, and I think that the fact that Doctor Who, the Doctor Who Candyman was very murderous and sinister, kind of hurt this character's image, because it's very family friendly, and here's a toy right here that was made off the mascot, and kids
Nah.
love the mascot, so I think they weren't happy that, well, we don't want to see our Candyman be confused with your Candyman. That just, yeah, and I kind of get it, I get it, but
Oh, for sure, for sure. Because yeah, they the Candyman in the Happiness Patrol is very similar in some ways.
yeah, the face is very similar. I guess more so the body we see him here.
And well, I mean, if you his head here, the candy mascot, that was the Candyman's pelvis in Doctor Who.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
And you see other similarities, like the head of the Candyman is made out of gum drops or gum balls, something like that, which you
Yes.
see not his head of the mascot, but parts of his body are. So they did borrow. I think that does seem. I don't know about copyright law, but it was pretty similar. I could imagine a candy company being irate about that, maybe threatening legal action.
Yeah, I don't know if luckily, I don't think the UK is as sue happy as we are, but especially with copyright. But maybe one of our viewers in the UK can tell us. But I think they were just kind of a little, yeah, perturbed, but they just BBC said, okay, we won't use them anymore from here
Yeah,
on, and so far they haven't. I do believe Bassett's was eventually taken by Schweppes, I think, which makes the is it, I can't remember, if it's ginger beer, if they make ginger, they make some sort of soft drink, I remember.
oh yeah, yeah. Schweppes. I mean, I think of that as like mixers. I think ginger ale, like you said, ginger
Okay.
beer, possibly, probably tonic water.
Yes, that's
For
right.
your gin and tonic, stuff like that. I think that's what Schweppes does.
Okay. Well, they apparently eventually took over Bassett's, and that's just basically just kind of
All
took
right.
their, all
And here in
sorts.
Philadelphia, we have Bassett's ice cream, which I think is probably completely unrelated.
Oh, yes, that's good stuff. Sure.
But yeah, yeah, maybe a member of the Bassett family came over here and started an ice cream company.
That's possible. Yeah, it's possible. That's good. I
Yeah,
don't get to have ice cream that much, but yeah, that is a very good brand of ice cream.
yeah, yeah,
Very good.
yep.
Um,
Philly's own.
exactly. Yes.
Hmm.
Um, let's see. So I guess this episode I thought had a lot going for it. I like the Candyman. I like the whole premise of the Happiness Patrols is a very austere, totalitarian, regime that if you're don't look like you're happy, if you're a killjoy, you're coming with us. And I thought the TARDIS being painted pink was a good gag, but just I didn't
Yeah,
really. This episode just didn't really work for me. I don't think it had a lot of good things, but I think story didn't really flow very well. If that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. I agree. I mean, I would go a little bit further and say it didn't really have a story. It had a concept. There's like the
Yeah.
Doctor and Ace arrive on this planet that's ruled by this woman, and um, the whole idea that she insists on the population has to be happy or you'll get executed with fondant.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the fondant part is cute, but the whole concept is like, okay, it's not that interesting. This dystopia is like, okay, so people, you're going to kill people if they're not happy. All right, big deal. Once you get past that, I mean, this is a very rare three-parter, which another thing, I would note from our journey through all six Doctors. Our first story we did, Planet of the Giants, was a three-parter, and we
Yes, that's
ended
right.
with a three-parter with Sylvester McCoy. And I don't think this story had enough story to support even
No.
3 episodes. I was kind of shifting in my seat before the end of the first episode.
Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of good things going for it. My
Hmm.
understanding was Helen A, the leader of the Happiness Patrol, she was a caricature of Margaret Thatcher,
Yes.
and apparently, I think there's a scene where the Doctor he urges the people to rise up and push back against her,
Mm.
which I think could have been an allegory for the 1984-85 miners' strike. in
Right. Yeah.
Britain. And also, I guess one could argue that Margaret Thatcher, I don't want to get too political here, but wasn't always that well liked, and by you know by people. And I think what I read is that apparently, while the economy was very good in Britain under her leadership, I think kind of argues that corporate capitalism, the more stuff you get, you should be happy. All these things you can buy and consume, but doesn't really guarantee happiness.
Mm.
I think that's kind of maybe um, a message that was hidden in this. I think it's like, why aren't you happy? You got all this great stuff here. Why aren't you happy? And well, if you're not happy, something's wrong with you. So
Yeah.
and how dare you question us? And, you should be always happy. And
Hmm.
um, but yeah, I think I remember Helen A. Yeah, very over the top. Um,
Mm.
so I liked what they were trying to do. I think there was a good basis for a story. I think it had potential to be better,
Yeah.
but I think the execution, idea, good execution, not so much.
Yeah. I had no idea this was supposed to be, a commentary on Thatcherite England.
Yeah,
I didn't get that from the actress's performance. I didn't get that from the storyline. So it didn't work that way for me. Yeah, I appreciate. I was really set to enjoy this because I think you could tell they were trying different things. They were giving like just how like when John Nathan Turner gave the show a different you know feeling for the 80s. I feel like the feeling shifted again. They were trying to do something different, something, I mean, that felt so radically different than what you would have had during the Tom Baker era. And I think probably even pretty different from the Peter Davison era. So I was like,
yeah,
all right, I'm here for this. The Candyman is such a weird villain, different. But I mean, by like 15 minutes of the first episode, nothing is really happening.
not really.
And an interesting thing I read is that the Candyman was written as like a humanoid in the
Oh,
script.
hmm.
I think maybe he had kind of like a pale complexion that was supposed to be kind of like powdered sugar.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, thank God they turned him into this monstrosity, because it was definitely the most interesting thing about the episode for me. If they had made him just like an actor with pale skin, I think maybe the episode would have had nothing good in it. You got the rat people in the pipes that were kind of cool, but had nothing to
Yeah,
do with anything.
we don't see enough of them now, and the Doctor just seemed kind of very. I don't know. They couldn't really decide. Like one moment he's like very sinister, and the next moment he's like pulling the spoons. It's like, okay, this is really just. It
Yeah,
was hard for
yeah,
me to connect with him.
yeah. I mean, like I said, I felt like they were trying to reinvent the show, which I mean, a show has to do, and it runs for so
Right,
long. And plus, I
right.
think they probably had uh, budget limitations and stuff constantly, having a smaller budget, which was, very evident in this episode. I mean, what was the deal with those sets? That was some of the, yeah, it didn't exactly, those sets did not exactly scream, alien planet. Never mind the alien planet where everything is supposed to be superficial and happy and candy colored and all that. But yeah, I forget where I was going, but they were trying different stuff, and I found some of it was pretty cringy. The Doctor singing was not one of the highlights of the series for me.
I think the one guy, the guy with the harmonica, Earl Sigma,
Yeah,
the one scene where he that creature Fifi is the rat dog was
yeah,
like in the
that was
pipe.
pretty good. I like Fifi. Yeah,
Well, I like Fifi, yeah, but the way that she died, he played his harmonica so the pitch would, I guess, move
the
the sugar.
crystallized syrup, I
Yes,
think.
the syrup in the
Yeah,
pipe and barrier. And I was just
that's
like,
right. Yeah, they do basically murder that
yeah,
dog.
Yeah, yeah. And I
Was
was like, okay.
that was
Um,
that was a bit harsh, and yeah, that guy did it at the doctor's direction, I believe. So
with harmonica, just like that guy was like wandering around. How come he didn't get caught? That was kind of strange. How the woman in the very
yeah,
beginning gets caught, but he doesn't. It's just that's kind of strange.
yeah,
Um,
I thought that was interesting because that's a character we don't see in Doctor Who. A guy who's just traveling. He's a
yeah, right.
he's a traveler, like one of your English backpackers. Although this guy had an American accent,
He
so that
did.
was
I'm not
that was a little different. And he's kind of an outlaw because he plays the blues, and the blues aren't
right.
allowed on this planet. But I mean, oh, that's interesting for about 5 minutes, and
Yeah, could have done a lot more with him. I think who was really good in this episode was Ace.
yes,
Love Ace. I love how she's just like, I'm going to punch you in the face, or just she's not the damsel in distress or the wilting flower. She's like, I'm going to kick your ass and or blow it up. And I like that. I really like. She's my favorite companion actually of all
she,
time. Ace.
yeah, yeah, she's growing on me. I mean, we've only watched 2 episodes with her, but
Yeah.
so that I've only seen 2 episodes with her in the last several years. But yeah, the episode 2 cliffhanger has the doctor doing the companions thing. I think of Sarah Jane had so many episodes where right before the closing credits happen, some monster is closing in on her, and Sarah Jane or one of the other companions is going like this and like kind of waiting for waiting for the director to yell cut as she gasps, and it's actually the doctor that does it in
Oh
the
yeah.
end of episode 2. So yeah, that was a bit of a role reversal. Another way that I guess they were trying to spruce up the show for its 25th season or whatever it was at that point.
Yeah, I think it was 25th
I
season.
believe
Yeah,
so.
I
Yeah.
think it was. It's again, Colin Baker's Buster McCoy. I'm told that people have met them. They're amazing people. They're very friendly. And they're both great actors. But their doctors just, I don't know. I don't really have the same. It's harder for me to get that emotional investment, that emotional connection with the sixth and seventh doctors.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I just don't feel the same as I do with Trout and Pertwee, Tom Baker, or Peter Davison.
yeah. Yeah. I loved Peter Davison. Um, and but I love Colin Baker too. But I mean, you could even back in the '80s, you could kind of tell the show was going downhill during the Colin
Yeah,
Baker era. I think you could tell it had reached a peak of sorts. I mean, the show going on for that long had several peaks, but I mean,
yeah,
I think it was really popular during the Peter Davison era, even if the quality of the show was not the best then. I don't know, it was really going strong at that point. And then it just kind of all fell apart with, I think, I remember reading somewhere that JNT kind of pushed Peter Davison out the door.
mm,
Davison was kind of, on the fence. And so JNT was like, all right, fine, we'll get a new doctor. And, of course, Colin Baker had that suit and all the problems with the BBC and everything, really started to hate on the show at that point. So yeah, even though that those eras do have some strong points, some strong stuff that I really like. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to watch it and not get a sense that it's kind of winding down at that point.
yeah, yeah. And I guess that's kind of reflected in probably the ratings too. But
Yes,
it went on hiatus for a while, and then it
I
came back,
remember
and then
that. Yeah, yeah,
Eccleston and Tennant. Those episodes are great. I love those episodes. Um, I'm just wondering if now maybe I like the 15th Doctor, or if I've lost track of all of them.
yeah,
I guess
yeah.
now
I don't know the numbers anymore.
I think he's 14. I think Shooty Gatwa. I really like him, but like compared to say Eccleston was like I loved every episode. He was like hit everything. Every episode was a hit for me. But Shooty Gatwa was he's very hit or miss, and I wonder if maybe is a good time for the show to kind of take another hiatus for a while, kind of just take it
Yeah,
off the shelf and just let it. So
yeah.
we'll
Well, Yeah, as far as I know, he definitely quit the show.
Yeah.
And it seems like RTD is out as well. So how long of a break they'll take, I think the show could use a long break. But that's a different subject, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. For their time, yeah.
Yeah, because we've been going for quite a while. So thank you for joining us, everyone. This
Oh
has
yes,
been the Happiness Patrol. Yeah.
yes
So,
indeed.
so thank you, Jim. Great to talk to you as always.
Great talking to you as well. And yeah, we'll see you folks next time.
Yes, we've watched one story from each of the classic Doctors. Not including the Fox TV movie. So
Yes.
we might have something a little different planned for next time. So please join us, won't you?